Welcome, guys. Today I'm going to be, I've already built the system out, but I am going to be explaining step by step process of an appointment chatbot that is built in Voiceflow that is integrated with an AI agent. So, this AI agent is also in Voiceflow as well, and this AI agent and also this chatbot can also handle both text and voice inputs as well. And I've also built out a follow-up and reminder system in make.com as well that can trigger an outbound voice agent that is built on Vapi. So let's get started. I'm just going to be explaining you the step-by-step process. It's the same thing as building out the step-by-step process as well, but I guess this video is also going to be a bit long as well. So I'll just show you, I'll explain it to you how to do this. So now this chatbot, if you've already used Voiceflow, before Voiceflow you used to do everything manually, like do like this, click and drag here, go here, click on message, then use a response AI or a prompt and then or do those type of steps. But now since they have released an AI agent in Voiceflow, you can integrate both chatbot and AI agent together and then create a pretty robust appointment booking chatbot that you can deploy on your own website or any other social media channel you want. So let's get started. Now the first node is going to be a welcome message. Now this welcome message will always be like, obviously I'm building this system out for a dental care. So the welcome message will be like, welcome to Mary's Dental Care. How can I assist you? Now I have two other different variants for this same first message. So every time the user clicks on it, the user may get any one of these three messages at random. So it keeps changing. So you don't have a static message every time. That's for that. And the next, I'm also going to give the customer or the user options. So for these options, I'm going to be using a choice, not the buttons, because if you use buttons, if the buttons does not capture the customer's intent, but you want to capture the customer's intent. With buttons, it will only work if the user clicks on the button. But what if the user does not click on the button? Even though if the button you've given as a book appointment, but the user won't click on it, and but he instead types book an appointment. It's the same thing as the button as well, but it won't capture that intent. So that's why we will use choice. That just works exactly like a button. So you click on this book appointment button. The button is just going to be the same thing. This is the label, and here you can see intent. Now this intent is where you're going to be creating the intent so that the chatbot can capture the intent of the customer. You basically give a name, a description saying like trigger this intent when the customer is looking to book, schedule an appointment, and you give few examples and then just click on this generate and you can generate 10 samples or 20 samples. I recommend just using 10 or 20 samples because you want this utterance over here to be in this green. If it is in green, it shows you that the intent of this is very strong and the chatbot is very likely to capture that intent. If it is not in green, then it might give you few errors. Now the same thing is for customer support over here and cancel and rescheduling an appointment. Now I have not given here any intent. I'll just show you how to build this intent for you also. Now you just give like cancel, or you can do the separate as well, like cancel appointment for separate intent and rescheduling separate intent. But I'm just going to show you this all together. Click on this reschedule. I'm just giving it a name. It's cancel slash reschedule. This will be like trigger this intent when the user. So now this utterance, now you can see it's not in green, it's completely zero because I've not given any examples. Now you just give few examples how the user may chat with the chatbot when they want to cancel. So you'll be like, can you cancel my appointment? Then click on this plus button over here that you can add more. Then after like, can you reschedule my appointment? Then you'll be like, cancel appointment or reschedule appointment, something like that. So you just give few examples like this. Click on generate here. Click on 10 sample phrases. Now it's going to create, the AI is going to generate 10 sample phrases that is closely related to that. And you can see the utterance went into green. Now you can see all these examples. So yes, see, I want to cancel my appointment and book a new one. I have to cancel my appointment due to a conflict. I am unable to make it to my appointment. So these type of all this AI generated stuff you can generate as well. And then just click on create intent. So that's it. Now I've created an intent for this as well. So that's that. Now I've also given for this a no reply option as well. So if the customer doesn't reply within 30 seconds, then this is it's going to go down in this path. It'll be like you can always talk to me at any time, and ending the conversation. Now you can change this end conversation to anything as well. You can loop it back to this welcome message as well, or if you want to loop it to something else, you can do that as well. Now I'm going to show you how this booking agent works. Now if you here in the options, if the customer clicks on book appointment and cancel, it's going to go to the same agent called the booking agent. So I've just, if you don't know how to do this, I'll just show you how to do that. So you just go here, click on drag and drop. You can go to this action. You'll see this button as go to block. Click on this go to block, and you can see over here, go to this the workflow called the start workflow. In the start workflow, you can see this booking agent and just add that. Now this is for the customer support. Now I guess I've done for customer support. Yeah, see this for customer support is this yes first message. So if the customer clicks on that choice, it's going to go down to the CS first message where the chatbot will introduce, and I've not completed this customer support build, but you get the idea. Again, here you can just add your knowledge base, and the AI will search the knowledge base and answer based on the knowledge base. And also, if you can add over here, you'll be like, do you need anything else? And you can give like a buttons instead of a choice, because we just want those buttons to be clicked. And then you'll be like, can you book an appointment or cancel, or do you need help with scheduling or rescheduling? Give those type of button options, and you can just redirect that thing directly to this booking agent as well. So let me just show you what is under this booking agent. I'll show you guys the prompt and the tools that I've given. So the prompt is just going to be a system prompt. It's a pretty simple prompt. I have to fine tune the prompt a bit because I was doing a test run on this. So it does work, but there's sometimes the answers are not proper. So I just need to refine that. So I'll just make those type of changes when I'm going to be giving this prompt to you. You can find all of this prompt or this voice flow or all the make.com automations in the description below as well. So the role is going to be you're an excellent appointment chatbot for Marist Dental Care. Then you'll be like you assist customers by scheduling appointments, canceling and rescheduling. Give that and voice and persona also, because it can handle both text and voice messages as well. So you can do like that. You can speak like a human, use phrases like human-like phrases, and give some personality traits. It should sound like more natural, conversational, like more human, like speak like as if you're speaking to a close friend. Those are a few examples of how you can configure this voice and persona for this agent. And also we have given timings also, because for dental clinics they have timings, right? So I've just given it as 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day, except on Sundays we are closed. So it's going to always mention this. I mean, the agent is going to mention this to the user, saying that we're open from this time to this and we're closed on Sundays. So based on that, the customer can book within the time slots or the time frame. And then we are going to use all the tool functions. Now for this agent, now there's two ways you can use this. You can also use this tools over here, and you can use this direct API request right over here. You can just go down this pathways as well. Now this is a new, I've just to go, I've used this pathways because I just find it more easier to do this way. But you can also do this to API, which is the same thing as well. Same thing as doing this using the API module from, yeah, using this API module. How we use this API module is the same thing running that. So that's that. And I guess this is a new update they have released. I don't know when they released this update. I guess just it's been like few days. Now you can, this agent can access knowledge base directly from here if you enable this. So if you want this agent to answer only from the knowledge base, you can also do that by enabling this. But since I don't have any knowledge base, I'm just going to disable that. And these buttons, cards and carousels are a new update that has been released. Basically, like if you like same thing like over here for checking availability, or like to book a process, you need to collect the name, or if you have like a agent that has multiple options, you can just trigger this button and you give a description when this button should be activated, and also in the prompt as well when you should use these buttons. When you do that, the agent will automatically add buttons. Same thing with cards and carousel as well. Now let me just explain you the parts. Okay, the booking process is going to be the same. I guess you have seen multiple videos already. We're going to collect all the contact details like the name, email, and all the basic informations, service type, preferred date and time, and then Canceling process, rescheduling, I'm going to come in there. Let me just show you the check availability part. Now, the name is obviously going to be the same because it is case sensitive. So you need to keep that in mind. Give the tool a name, a description, and also a required variable. Now, this required variable, now to check the time slot, if it is available or not, we need to capture the customer's preferred date and time. So that's why we made this variable as a required variable, where whenever the customer gives out their preferred date and time, it will only go through this part after collecting this, and then it will make the API request in make.com and find the availability. Same thing applies for book appointment, cancel appointment, and reschedule. So for book appointment, all we need all the details, right? So that's why you make it as a variable. Now, if you don't want to capture their phone number, then you can just click on this minus, and it won't capture the phone number. Like, it will not make it a required variable. So that's what it is. Same thing with cancel. Give it a tool description, the required variables. For canceling, obviously, I'm going to be connecting this to a Google Calendar. So for Google Calendar, to cancel an appointment, you need to capture the start date and the end date. So to do that, we want the preferred date and time. So preferred date and time in the canceling appointment sense. So that means the user already exists in a Google Calendar. So they've already booked an appointment. So preferred date and time becomes the original date and time of the appointment they had booked, and they want to cancel that right now. So we'll capture that, and then we're going to cancel the appointment through that. Same thing with rescheduling as well. And the only thing we're going to be adding is a new date and time. So we also want the original date and time of the appointment they had booked, and they want to reschedule that appointment by capturing the new date for that time. For rescheduling, it's usually moving the calendar from this time slot to another time slot, or moving an appointment from this day to another day. So to do that, we just want to capture the date and time. We won't capture their personal detail or their contact details, because their contact details is going to be the same thing. We'll only capture their email so that we can send an email confirmation for them that their appointment has been rescheduled. So that's that. Now see, for canceling, the for canceling process, the user must provide the name, email, like that, and then call the cancel appointment function. For rescheduling, you will first collect the new date and time, and then the agent will call the check availability function, because the agent should check if the new date is available or not. If it is available, it will go and proceed with the rescheduling. If it is not, it will recommend the two other alternative time slot, or you can move the appointment to the next day. And then you just give a bit of notes so that the agent does not forget, something like that. Now I've just given this also here because I have run into this problem where this Voiceflow chatbot does not take the year properly. So that's why I've just written here the current year manually, as the current year is 2025. And I have specifically told, do not convert this time into ISO 8601 format, because I'm going to be doing that in make.com using OpenAI ChatGPT. So that's why if the customer says today at 2, tomorrow at 3:15 p.m., just take those input exactly at that, and then send it to the make.com webbook. So that's why I have given that specifically. So that's the entire system prompt and the tool sections. Now I walk you through this API, this thing. So the API is going to be the same. I'm just going to be showing you the one thing, one API, and everything else is going to be exactly the same. So the API is going to be a post request. Obviously, this is a webbook URL. If you don't know how to get this, you just need to create a webbook in make.com. Just add give it a name, and you'll get a webbook URL. Copy that webbook URL and just paste it over here. You get that, and the body is going to be JSON raw. You just go here. You can do it three ways, like form data, URL encoded, or raw. Yeah, most of the people just use raw, and you do it in JSON, but you can also do it in form data as well. I'll show you how to do that in form data as well, how it looks. So for JSON, for check availability, we are only sending the date and time. So I've just open curly brackets, double quotes, date, time, and just this is a variable. So to create variable, I don't know if you know. Yeah, to save the preferred date and time, you must create a variable, and you can add variable. Now to do that, you just do open brackets, then you click on preferred date and time. You can see this preferred date and time over here. This is the variable that already exists, so that's why it's showing over there. And then just click on that, it will get added. If you don't know how to create a variable, let me just show you how to create a variable as well. Now go over here, click on edit agent. Now for this check availability is over here. Can you, in this required variable section, can you see this plus sign? Click on this plus sign, and you can see a create variable. In the create variable, write the give it a variable name, a description, and click on create variable. So that's all. And then when you do that, your variable is created and just start over there. Now that one I showed you was in a raw JSON. Now let me also show you how you can send this data through a form data. So through a form data, see, as you can see, for canceling an appointment, I've used that like that. And I have just done this so that I can explain the both ways you can send a request body to a webhook. So the date and time, it's going to be a key value pair. So the date time, you just think this key as a name, like just like how you give a button a name, just think of key as like that. And the value is going to be the variable that you have stored the customer's preferred date and time. Same thing with the email, I create a variable for that, and that's going to be the value and the name as well. So that's about it. And then the rest other is going to be the same thing as well. Now, after doing that, we also want to capture the response that we'll receive from make.com. So to do that, we'll use response, but this thing response in what. Now, where do you get this thing is basically in make.com. Now, if you want to capture any response in Voiceflow, you must start with like this response dot. You must start with this first. They've explained more on this in their documentation. You can also visit that. You must start like this to capture the response, and the success is going to be the response you get from the webhook. So you'll add a webhook, and you'll also there's another module called webhook response in make.com. So in that webhook response make.com, you just go to the body, you'll open again doing it in JSON. You'll open curly brackets and you'll give key value where. So the success over here is the key, and the value that key, it will capture that key, and you just store it, create another variable, and store that answer you get from the webhook inside this new variable that you will create. So that's all I've done over here. Response of success, I've done it, and I've stored it in this booking confirmed variable. So that's about it. And the same thing applies for even check availability over here also. I've done the same thing over here. So here you can see it's response dot result. For cancel appointment, it is response dot cancel, and for reschedule appointment is response dot reschedule like this. Yeah, see, response dot reschedule, and it is stored in this variable called reschedule appointment. Now after doing that, we'll create another message node. The message node you can find in this talk section. Click on drag and drop this message over here, so you can get this message, and just in this message, just enter the variable that you have where you capture the response. So for this book appointment, we'll store it in booking confirmed variable, right? So we'll just click on that. Now that response we get from the webhook is getting sent over here, and also we'll send that this response to the booking agent as well, so that the agent will know that the booking has been confirmed. Same apply for the others. Now what happens if the API request failed? So that's why you click on this enable failure part. When you enable this failure part, you get success and failure like this. So if it's a failure, we'll go down to this failure part that I've created. To do that, just again click on drag and drop on this, click on actions, go to block, then we'll get over here, click on start workflow because that's the workflow I'm right now currently in. Then click on failure path over here. So every time it fails, it will go to this failure path, and we'll just give them the customer care Gmail. And if the customer needs anything else, I've also given it a button. See here, I've just used button, and if they say no, the conversation will end. If they say yes, it will go back to the welcome message. So that's about it. Let me just put my laptop to charge because I have no charge. Okay, now I've explained everything of the booking agent in chatbot. Now I'm going to walk you through the make.com scenarios. Now the make.com has 7 total scenarios because as you can see, book, cancel, reschedule, and check availability. So those are already the 4 automations that I've built in make.com. The other 3 is going to be the follow-up systems and the reminder systems that I have built in make.com. So I'm going to walk you through everything, how they check availability. I did not do the step-by-step building process because it just takes too long. And plus, I'm recording this video on an old MacBook Air, so it was very laggy as well, and it was not just working out. So that's why I just decided that let me just build everything, record, and explain it to you guys, so that you can still follow with me as well, right? So you still get the basic idea of how everything works. Now I've created a new folder. It is important that you keep your make.com scenarios organized so that you do not lose or do not get confused of which workflow is which. So I created a separate folder called for YouTube because this is going to be published on YouTube, and also I'm recording it for YouTube. So that's why I've done that. That's the name. Now here you can see all the 7 workflows. One is for check availability, book, cancel, reschedule, and I'll show you how to do. I'll come back to this follow-up system later in the video. Now let's just click on check availability first because that's going to be the most complex part of this entire workflow. Booking canceling is pretty easy because in Google Calendar you already have the built-in module where you can just there's a built-in module in Google Calendar called create an event or delete an event. You just need to use those modules and it will automatically create and delete. For check availability, we'll use a lot of for chat GPTs. We'll also do some date time functions as well so that the agent or this automation knows what is the exact time that it is going to check the availability for. Now let me just open this. Now this is the webhook I told you. So everything from the Voiceflow API request, the post request is going to the data you're sending from there is going you'll receive it in this webhook, and then after receiving it in this webhook, now this webhook I told you that you'll get a URL over here. You just click on, if you're new to this, click on this ad, you'll give it a name, and that's how you create a webhook, and you'll get this URL. Just copy and paste it over to Voiceflow API module. Now I've used this tool set variable step over here because for testing purposes. So when you're testing this out, you don't want to keep running this entire scenario every single time or this webhook every single time. So that's why I've used the set variable so that I can just directly store the data you'll receive from the webhook over here, store it inside this variable, and from here I can just reuse this and test it out. So it's more efficient. So it's just go to this tool section you'll get in. You can get over here, click on this tools over here. Let me just cancel and wait, just go back to this tools. Yeah, you can see the set variable step over here. Just click on that and just give store the variable over here. And then we'll send that data we'll get from. So now this is going to be check availability, right? So we're sending the date time. So the date time we'll store that over here. So the date time over here. So let's say if the user wants to book an appointment for today at 12 p.m. So the date time will be like today at 12 p.m. Now Google Calendar cannot accept just today at 12 p.m. because it only accepts UTC format. So to do that, we need to convert this to UTC format. So that's why we are going to be using ChatGPT module. Now this ChatGPT module, I'm going to be using the GPT-4o system. Here we're going to just basically give the role, system role, and the user message. It's going to be exactly like how we use ChatGPT. Now in your web chat, when you open ChatGPT on your laptop, you just type in, it's going to be exactly the same thing. So just click on this role over here you get, and click on system. So this, because this is going to be the system prompt. Here will just be like, we have just asked the user when they would like to book an appointment. You will be provided with the current date and their response. So you must output the date they would like to book in a meeting in this time format. So that is in ISO 8601 format in UTC plus 5:30 time zone, and we'll only ask the ChatGPT to output only the converted data. We do not want any explanation, no summaries, nothing like that. We just want the converted data, and also provide a one example as well. So this is just an example where 20 in ISO 8601 format. So that's going to be the example. And in the user message, again, click on this role. You can see this user. Here you just give, now to convert this, it is also important that the agent knows what the current date and time of today is. So that's why we are going to be using this now function. Now to use this now function, you just click on double curly brackets right now and close double curly brackets. You can get this now. Now if you still don't want to do that, you can go to this datetime operator over here, datetime, and you can see this now over here. Now if you want to format the date, you can also do that and also add the time zone. This is just from doing it more precautionary step. So that's why I formatted the date and also given the time zone. So you can do that also over here. You can see this format date over here. Click on format date and just click now, and then this thing semicolon, and format the date however you want. So if you want it in DD/Bible, and just click on that, that's going to be, or if you want to capture the hours and minutes as well, you can do that. So that's going to be how you're going to format the date as well. And then afterwards you also provide the user's date and time of the appointment. So here is the variable date time, and then just click on save. Now after doing that, we're going to send that the converted date and time Google calendar module called get free busy information. Where what this module does, is basically gets all the free and busy time slots for the calendar. So to do that, just click on add module over here. You can see, click on add module. Now that got connected to that router, but never mind. Click on that, and in this Google Calendar module, just search get free. Okay, yes, you can see it, get free busy information. That's the module you want. Now after doing that, open that module. In that module, you just see the minimum time and the maximum time. So the minimum time is going to be the converted date and time that you'll get from the chat GPT from the previous module. That's going to be the minimum time. The maximum time is going to be the end date of the appointment, end time of the appointment. So if you, for the demo purposes, the appointment is only going to last for 1 hour. So that's why I have used go add minutes 60 minutes. So to get this add minutes also, you have to go to that date time. You can see over here, add seconds, add minutes, add hours. You can do whatever you want. You can end the appointment whenever you want. So basically that. The calendar ID is basically going to be your email. Now I have not mapped it, but if you click on map also, it's just going to be your email that is connected to the Google Calendar. So it works both ways. So anything is fine. And then just click on save, and then we'll add a router. Now why do we add this router? Because we are saying we are using this check availability to get two paths. So we want to get one, an available time slot, or if the time slot is not available, we'll send them to a different path. So that's why we'll use a router to do that. So this is going to be, we'll use a filter over here. So for the available time, if the time slot is available, so if they say today at 12 p.m. and that today at 12 p.m. is open, it's going to go to this path and it will send a webhook response. Now the filter is going to be, give it a name. This name is going to be called available. The condition you'll get from this get free busy information. You'll get over here, click on this, your email, and you can see this busy over here. Just click on that, it will get added over here, and the text operator is going to be array length equal to. Now to get that array length, you just go scroll all the way down, scroll all the way up. You can see array length equal to. So click on that, and that is going to be equal to 0. So if this from the Google Calendar get free busy information, if the bundle output result as 0, so that means the time slot is available. If it is not 0, that means the time slot is not available. So that's the going to be the not available filter. Same thing over here. So array length greater than 0. So if it is greater than 0, so that means it's greater than 0, it is not available. So that's why we'll go down to that part. So when you go the not available path, we'll use another to set variable step. Oh, what is this one? It's lagging. Okay, yeah. We'll use another set variable step because basically we're going to convert the customer preferred date and time that we'll get, convert that into midnight. We want to convert that into midnight. So to do that, again, we're going to be formatting date. We'll take the result we'll get from the ChatGPT model, and we're going to do it in this format, in the year, month, day format. Plus, this is the just ISO format. So to get midnight is basically capital T 00, then colon 00, so that basically means not three zeros, just two zeros, and then plus 5:30 is basically the time zone you're in. So I am right now in India, and the time zone is plus 5:30, that is UTC plus 5:30 or Asia slash Kolkata. You just adjust this to your time zone. So that's about it. And just let me just back this and click on save. After doing that, just click on save. Now after that, we'll also use another get free busy information Google Calendar module, basically setting that midnight time and adding 24 hours to that. When we add 24 hours to that, we'll basically get all the calendar events for that day. So for example, for tomorrow, if you have like 4 appointments booked, and customer has booked, wants to book in one of the appointment that has already been booked, so that it will be like it will go down this not available path. It will set that time into 24, get all the slots for the day, and it will find the free slots in that busy calendar. So when we find that free slot, we're just going to be recommending that free slot to the user. So that's why we're going to be adding 24 hours there. So the minimum is going to be the day that you'll set from the variable you get. When you run that, you'll get, see again in this format only, ISO 8601 format. That's going to be your minimum time. The maximum time, obviously, you're going to use add us, like go to this date time tab over here. you can find add hours over here. Just click on that. The variable is day and add 24 hours. The calendar ID, again, I said it's just going to be your email, and you'll get all the events for the day. And then we'll transform it into JSON. To do that, you click on this indentation at 4 spaces. I don't know why we do this, but I've just done this in this. And the calendar, and just click on our settings. That's it. After doing that, we'll convert the times to again UTC or GMT 5:30, both are same. Do not get confused. We'll use ChatGPT, then we'll also use ChatGPT based on the times we get from the Google Calendar to find close alternative times. So that's basically going to be the free slots. And then after the free slots, we're going to be sending a final message to the user. Basically combining all of this, send a final message like in a few sentences to the user through this webhook response. Now let me show you. For this prompt over here, convert to UTC is going to be the same prompt as I explained it to you on the first ChatGPT prompt. Sorry, yeah, first ChatGPT model is going to be the same thing, the same model only, GPT-4o model. You can use any other model. I would recommend using either this or GPT-4o mini. So any one of those. So again, you're going to use system prompt, the user prompt. We're just setting it to convert into UTC, and here is the time slot. So it's pretty simple prompt. That's all. There's nothing much to discuss or explain over there. And then we'll go to this one to find close alternative times. Now it is important that you make it very clear to the chat GPT. Explain it specifically so that it do not get confused with the booked time slot or the busy time slots and the free time slots. So make it very clear. So the system prompt is going to be your role is to only output close alternative times that the user can book in for, and output this in JSON format. So basically that, and then the user message is going to be like this. So please recommend two alternative time slots. So if it is busy, the agent will recommend two time slots. So here you make it very clear. So here are all the times in the day that are not available. You must not recommend any times within these booked slots. Now this one you get basically from where? Yeah, from this ChatGPT model over here. Here is the time the user tried to book in for. That is the first ChatGPT model you get over here. You convert the date and time. Now I've used here choices, message.content. To get that, you just click on here choices. Then you can see messages over here. Then click on content over here. So click on that. You can do that, or else you can just click on this result as well. Anything else. And then we'll also again try to give this ChatGPT model what the current date and time is. That is basically by using this now function, and also format it into this format, and also yeah, basically that's the entire prompt. Yeah, and it will recommend it will just output two alternative times in JSON. We're going to take in and send a final message to the user in this. So this final message is just going to be sending a message in a few sentences. So we'll be like, please tell the user in a very simple few sentences what the time slots are. Here is the recommendation. Example output, just give like unfortunately your chosen time slot was booked out. You can however book you into these two close alternative times, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Let me know which suits you best. Which suits you best. Basically that. That is the user message. Now the system message is just again giving the system prompt. Your role is to clearly communicate the time slot to the user like this, like this. That's all. And then a webhook response. Now in this webhook response, I mentioned in the voice flow, when you want to capture the response, you want to start with response dot and the key. So the key is just going to be the result. It has to be exactly the same thing as over here. Again, it is case sensitive. So if you have used your first letter as capital and in the voice flow, if it is not in capital letters, then it will not work. You will not get the response properly. So that's one thing you need to keep in mind. It is case sensitive. So just like that results, and just output the final message you get from the ChatGPT over here. And just click on advanced settings. When you click on advanced settings, you can get this custom headers like this. Just click on add item over here and see key and value. So the key is going to be content time and the value is going to be application/JSON. After doing that, just click on save. Now that's it, and just click on this final save as button. Now that's the entire check availability function that is integrated with Voiceflow. So that's the most difficult part, and that is out of the way. Now let's get started with the easy ones. That is basically booking appointment and canceling. Rescheduling can get pretty tricky, but again it's pretty simple. So I hope you can understand what I'm saying, and you can also learn something from this. You can, if you want, I can provide you the templates as well. The templates are all in the description below as well. You can just, the templates are going to be downloaded in JSON. So when you import it into make.com, you can see in this, you can see in this center console, you can see one option called import blueprint. Just click on that and it will automatically import this thing in make.com. Sorry, I just want to press back. You can just book appointment. Okay. Again, for all of these make automations, we're going to be sending through webbook. So in everything, the first step is always going to be the webbook, and also the tools I've just set. Again, I told you, for testing purposes. You don't have to do this when you're actually deploying, but I've just done that because to test, right? So it makes it easier and efficient. So again, whatever the time you get from the webbook, it is important to convert it into UTC format, basically ISO 8601 format. So that's going to be the ChatGPT model. You can just copy paste the same prompt that you used for the check availability ChatGPT module. Copy paste that and over here, paste it into this module. You'll get the same results. If you do not get the same results, just refine it a little bit and you'll get it. And this is going to be a book appointment, so we'll create event. So in Google Calendar, there's a module called create an event. Just click on that. Here you'll like create an event in detail, and the calendar ID obviously is just going to be your email, and the event name, give the event a name. So I've just given it like new appointment book for name. So that name is basically the dynamic variable that you'll receive from the web. Here I've just used the response I'll get from this variable step. So that's why it's in purple. And the start date is going to be the converted date and time. That's why you use ChatGPT. That's going to be the start date. The end date is obviously going to be 1 hour long. So that's why I've used this add hours over here as well. That's that. And the description also you can give. So when you book a calendar event, you also want some description. So you just don't want their name or the booking date and time. You also want some other details as well, like their email, service type, and the phone number. So that's all can be done in this description. After doing that, just click on save. And also after the event is created, you also want to update it in your CRM as well. Now I've used Google Sheet, but you can have any other CRM like ClickUp, Monday.com, or Airtable, anything you want, or Salesforce, HubSpot, anything. So you can just click on this Google Sheet. There is a module called Add a Row. So here you just need to get your spreadsheet ID. Let me just show you how the Google Sheet looks like. So the Google Sheet basically acts as my CRM that stores all the booking details. So like the name, email, phone number, booking date and time, when the customer was added as well. So that is called the date added as well. So I have built here called the dental appointment database. Just click on that. Yeah, see, as you can see, we'll give it a name over here. See, the columns are name, email, phone number, service type, call transcript, call summary status. You don't have to worry about this. These are all the follow-up and the reminder system post. So you can just add all of this once. I'm going to explain all of this later. Right now, I'm just going to be explaining all the booking details that are going to be entered into this Google Sheet. Now go back to me. The spreadsheet ID is basically going to be the center one over here. So this is your spreadsheet ID. From this column over here, from this slash to this backslash over here. So this is your spreadsheet ID. You just copy paste. So Command C on MacBook or Control C on Windows. Just do that and paste it over here. The sheet name is going to be the book, because here you can see the sheet name is also booked over here. You can just go back here. Table container, this is all going to be automatically populated. Here, only thing you have to do is just map it. So all the details you get from the webbook over here, you just map it. I've just done it with variables, but when you're actually doing it, map it with the webbook you receive. So name, email, phone number. Phone number I've added here +91 because when the customer, when you ask for the customer, they would not type the phone number as like +91 and give out their phone number. They would just give out their number like randomly. So when they do that, you just manually enter here +91 so that it will also get populated over here as well, like +91, like it's a phone number. So when the Vapi voice agent, like I said, will make the outbound call, so that it can understand that this is a phone number. The service type and also the date and time over here is basically going to be the booking date and time, the appointment that they have booked for. Date added is basically when the customer is added to this Google Sheet. That's the date added. So we'll use that date added and also send again follow up this thing, messages like SMS or emails. You can do that. That's why I've done that. I'll explain that more in the later. Now in this G column here, you cannot see any columns here because I have not refreshed it over here. But I know it's going to be the same thing over here. So because you can go here, the column G is called, column H is called transcripts. So in this call, you just write it as no because you still haven't called the customers. You still haven't called the client. So that's why you just by default when they are added in that column just write it as no, and when they're called, the agent will automatically update that into yes. So basically that, click on save over here and add a webhook response. So every time you use a webhook, it is mandatory that you need to have a webhook response. You cannot have a webhook over here and then not have webhook response. It will not work properly. So you need to have a webhook, and the end step is always going to be the webhook response. So here it's just going to be again key value pair. The data, everything over here is stored inside this success key. The value is basically like your appointment has been booked. You will receive an email confirmation, and one of our agent will call you in 15 minutes, something like that. And again over here, click on show advanced settings. Add this custom address because this is only mandatory for Voiceflow, but for others you do not have to click on this custom address. You can just send this as a body itself. So that's your entire book appointment workflow. Pretty simple. Now let me show you how the canceling also works. Let me just go back. Now you can also build this same system in NA10 as well. Same thing like this, but with NA10 you don't have to build all of this like manually like this because in NA10 there's already an AI agent. In Make also there's an AI agent, but I still don't know how to use the AI agent in this Make.com. But in NA10 you just have an AI agent. Just use that AI agent and give it a prompt. From there you use the from AI. They have a system variable called from AI. Just use that from AI and it becomes pretty much easier for you to build all this availability function. Now for the cancel appointment, again, I told you it's going to be a webbook as well. So again, we're converting the time into UTC format because Google Calendar accepts only that. To cancel an appointment, so that means the customer has already or the user has already booked an appointment and they already exist in our calendar event. So to do that, first we need to capture their information, right? The details like the name, email, and the preferred date and time. So we'll capture those details and we're going to use search event module in Google Calendar. So when we serve for that search event, we'll just give in the preferred date and time that we'll capture from we'll convert that into UTC format. We'll take that results we'll get from the chat GPT, we'll add that to our start date and the end date over here by giving adding add hours, that is 1 hour because the appointment is only for 1 hour. Doing that, it will search the event. Just click on save, that's all you have to do. You will get the events that has been booked. Doing that, you will send that search event details by deleting that event. So to delete that event, you will need an event ID. So that event ID basically you will get from the search event right over here. You can see here event ID. Just click on that and just click on save. That's your entire literally canceling process. It's just this four steps. Basically, these two steps. But then you'll send a response to Voiceflow that your appointment has been successfully cancelled, and then also you not only want to cancel from there from your Google Calendar, but also from your CRM as well, right? So if they want to cancel, so that means you don't want their information. It's pretty useless, right? So you want to cancel that information in your CRM. So again, it's the same logic as in Google Calendar, where you'll search event and delete event. Here also you'll search rows and delete rows, and you'll send cancellation email. And you can also add a few other modules here, like sending an SMS or an internal notification to the team as well, so that they also have an idea that the appointment has been cancelled. Now, the search rows is going to work exactly the same as the search events. Now, let this thing load over here. It's pretty slow, man. Let me wait. I'm patient. Oh my god. Sitting in position is bad, man. Okay, let me not get distracted. Okay. So again, we are going to be searching. We are going to, first of all, to do any of all this, you need to make sure you have established a connection. So if you have not, just click on this ad over here and you can establish the connection. It will open a pop-up screen and you can just sign in with your Google and do that. You will get this thing connected. So now click on add, now it's not going to work. Now here we just want to connect it with the same spreadsheet ID, sheet name. Obviously we want to filter, we're going to be filtering it by email because the email is going to be your unique identifier. So just filter it by email and it will only search, and also you want to limit the result you get from the search to one. because you want to process this one by one, not all at once, so one by one. So that's why you want to limit it to one. And since your email is your unique identifier, you have to get one result. If you get more than one result, so that means there's something wrong with your Google, or the agent has double booked. So you do not want that. Now after we get the data, we are going to get a row number from search rows. Now that row number, we are just going to add that to the delete row. By doing just do that and just click on save. That's all it's going to be the cancellation process. And send the final cancellation email to the customer. I'll just show you this thing. It's taking its time to load. It's fine because my laptop is heating. By the way, I hope you guys are able to understand what I'm saying. If you have any doubts, you can just leave a comment and I can respond if I can respond back. I'm not sure that I'll be able to answer all the questions, but I'll try my best. And here you can see the row number over here. So the row number you'll get just from the search rows. Just click on this. Let me just click on this. Meanwhile, please subscribe to my channel as well, because this is my first YouTube video and I'm going to be uploading more YouTube videos. Basically showcasing my skills also in this automation, in this AI space, and also get land few clients as well. So here the row number, see, as you can see the row number over here. You just click on that and click on add over here and just click on save. So that's going to be your entire cancellation, cancel appointment process. Then go back. Now I'm going to talk to you. Now I'll talk to you guys about the rescheduling process. So random shoot to fill up. Okay, I'll explain the rescheduling process right now, the automation. Okay, this video is already pretty long. It's almost like 60 minutes, like 1 hour. Hopefully, I'll be able to cover. I hope this video is still engaging for you guys. I hope you guys are not falling asleep. I tried my best to record the step-by-step building process, but my laptop can't seem to handle that, so that's why I could not do that. It was just lagging too much, and yeah, it was just time-consuming. So that's why I built out the system already, and I'm just explaining it to you guys. Now also you can see, now also it's loading pretty slowly because my laptop is heating, and that's why it's loading pretty slowly. So just bear with me, man. It's going to be only for a few, not for a few videos. I don't want to make any promise, but do this. I'm going to, hopefully I can land a client. After landing it a client, I can get some money, and if I get some then I'm just going to upgrade my laptop and get my microphone or something else, so that I can also have like a proper YouTube setup. That's why. So if you're also if you also want to start a YouTube video like this, just start, nothing else, just start. You don't have to worry about anything else. Just start. Just explain. If you don't want to build, so just explain, or just record yourself, make a video. And also you can use this video also if you want to, if you're doing a freelancing job, you can use this video, you can apply it on Upwork or any other Fiverr or any other freelancing platform, so that you can also build some credibility and also evidence to your profile. And when clients see this on your profile as well, it makes them want to send an offer to you. So, and also you can also get more clients, get feedback, and basically gain experience and confidence in the systems that you are building. So that's why even I'm also recording this video right now, even though it's taking its time to load this rescheduling automation. But I'm just going to be patient. Yeah, see, now we can. Now again, I will not explain the first two steps because it's the same thing. Webbooks, converting it to UTC format using ChatGPT, use the same prompts. For rescheduling also, we're going to be searching events. So for the rescheduling, we'll get details like the name, their original date and time of the appointment they booked, and they want to reschedule that appointment, and we'll also capture the new date and time. So for that, we'll just search events, like it's the same thing as I mentioned in cancel events, canceling appointments, search events. There's going to be a minimum time and maximum time, or the start time or the end time. We'll just use the time we get from this chat GPT over here and input it into search events. Here, we are going to just update an event. We are not canceling or deleting the event. We just want to reschedule. So to reschedule, we want to update the event. So click on update an event. So when you click on this update an event, I guess you need to enter the event ID as well, I guess, for this event ID, and also you just need to map the new date and time. So for this, in this reschedule in this ChatGPT, remember to tell the ChatGPT to output in JSON format. because you're sending two date times, right? You're sending the original date time, also the new date time. You want the original date time as one this thing, one JSON, and the other new date and time as another JSON. So two separates. So that's why, yeah, you tell the ChatGPT to output in two JSON formats. So the event ID again you'll get from the search events. You just add over here. You don't want to make any changes to the event name. You only want to change the date and time of the appointment they had already booked. So here the start date is going to be the converted date, as you can see over here. I'll just show you the JSON output that I got from the ChatGPT over here from the previous module. Here it says the rescheduled date time, so that captures the new date and time. Here also the same thing for add hours. Also, you are just going to add 1 hour because the appointment is only for 1 hour, right? So here you can see you'll get the results. There's two date time. One is for preferred date and time, and the other is rescheduled date and time. We'll send the preferred date and time in the first search event, so that in the search event we'll use preferred date and time. For the update event we'll use the rescheduled date and time. So then click on save. After clicking on save, we also want to make that update to your CRM as well, right? So it's going to be the same logic. We're going to search rows and also update the row. I don't know why this is not getting zoomed in. Okay, now it's getting zoomed. Okay, something is going wrong, but I'm just going to go with it right now. So search rows is going to be the same thing in canceling the appointment. Update row also, you're going to capture the row number that you'll get from the search row, and you want to make update to the appointment date and time. So you want to make changes to this column, update the column, date and time column, and also the date added column. So you're just making changes to that column, those two columns only. You leave all the other things as the same. Yeah, you just want to make changes to this date time and date added column. Those are the only two things. And then you'll also send a response back to Voiceflow saying that your appointment has been rescheduled, so that the customer also will know about it. After doing that, you can also send an appointment rescheduled email to the customer. You can also send an SMS, and also again make an internal notification as well to the team. So that's the entire reschedule appointment process as well. So right now I've walked you through both. Oh my god, so this thing is lagging. But so right now I walked you through both book an appointment, check availability, cancel, and reschedule. Now the only thing that's going to be remaining for you right now is the follow-up systems. So let me just end this video here because it's pretty long, and I'm going to record another video. I'll explain the follow-up systems and the reminder in that. Okay guys, now I'm going to be explaining you how to build out and follow-up and reminder system for appointment settings. Now this can also be reused for any other any other follow-up and reminder system that you're building. It should not only be related to appointment booking or scheduling an appointment. Now to do this, first we are going to be using Chronux. So if you haven't heard of Chronux, it's just basically a webbook scheduling platforms where you can schedule the webbook. So like how in make.com you have a webbook. Now that webbook is not scheduled, it's going to be run every time. So when you click on that make scenario, if you go back to make, you click on this run, it's going to run this, that's all. It's not going to get scheduled. To do that, you can also schedule it up here, but if you want more functionality, you want to use a third party platform called Chronux. If you don't have an account, I suggest to create a free account. You will get 7-day free trial, and also the pricing is pretty affordable as well. Like you can do most of the work or most of the testing with their free plan only. So that's pretty handy, and also it is only $5 per bucks, $5 per month. So that's like 500 rupees, I guess. So that's pretty affordable. Oh, sorry, I said 7 days. It's like 15-day free trial, and you don't have to use your credit card. So it's very like good. So I already have an account, so I'm just going to log in to my account. Now I'll also show you how to set this Chronux manually and also through an API request, because I don't know if you have seen, there's not a lot of videos explaining how to do these videos. Sorry, how to set this up manually, how you can create a new schedule. So I'm just going to be doing that. So first you can see over here it says create a new schedule. Click on that. Now this, let me just walk you through this, my logic. So this follow-up and reminders is going to be done after booking has been done. So it is a post booking automation. So for that, so when an appointment has been booked, now the customer details is in the Google Sheets CRM. So that when the booking has been completed, confirmed, is going to get stored over here. The date added and called, it's going to be written as no, right? So now we're going to use a voice agent that is built in Vapi. Basically, take this date time over here. We'll take this date added over here. So let's say the appointment has been booked for tomorrow at 12 p.m. and this customer date was added like today at like a 10 a.m. or something like that. So we'll take that today at 10 a.m. We'll take that 10 a.m. time and we'll add 15 minutes to that time. So we'll basically schedule a webhook where the Vapi, the outbound agent will call the customer after 15 minutes, since 15 minutes has been passed by the appointment booked. So if they were added to the CRM at 10 a.m., we'll call them at 10:15. Call the client. We basically will be like, is this a good time to speak? If they say yes, okay, I'm just calling you from Mary's Dental Care. I just wanted to confirm your details, your appointment details, just basically qualifying the client so that you're actually booking an actual client and not some fake client or something else. We do that and welcome them to the dental clinic. Doing that, we're going to change this call status to yes and also add the call transcript, their summary and the status. So the status is going to be the calling status that you'll receive from Vapi. So let's say the Vapi makes the call, the outbound call. If the customer did not pick up the call, then the status will be like customer did not pick up the call. But if the customer picked up the call and you had a conversation, it will come as status ended because you ended the call, right? You picked up and you ended the call. So that's why the status will come as ended. Now, what if the Vapi is not able to make the outbound call at all? Like it's not able to make the call to the customer, so it will come as error. So we want to have different and also again follow-up system for each different status that you receive. So again, we are going to be using for that also Chronos. Now let me just explain you how to set up a simple 15-minute webbook schedule so that the voice agent will call you every 15 minutes, not every 15 minutes. Like it will call you once 15 minutes has been passed by. So the is going to be is exactly the same how you set up the webbook. Now the title over here is going to be required. And you can name any title. I'm just going to name it over here 15-minute webbook. The method is going to be post because you're going to be sending details to this webbook. Now this is a webbook scheduling webbook that is sending data to another webbook. That another webbook is just going to be your make.com webbook. So for that, here let me just go to this thing, this make automation workflow. Click on that. Here you can see Chronux 15 minutes webbook, make outbound call, qualify leads, and update sheets also. Update sheets and also send messages or WhatsApp messages, Telegram messages, anything you want. You can add any other social media channel that you prefer. Now let this load over here. Now that webbook, you're going to get the URL, right? So you're just going to be pasting that webbook URL over here. The content type is going to be the same. It's going to be the default. Don't make any changes. The time zone is going to be Asia slash Kolkata because right now I'm in India. You just change the time zone according to your time zone. So it's going to be Asia slash Kolkata. The request timeout, just leave it as it is. Trigger type is going to be once, just leave it as it is. You can change this into recurring as well. And this runner over here tab, you're just going to be adding the date. So today is 26th June and it is almost like a 12:41. So if it's 12:41, we want to let's say 12:41:51. We want to make a call at 12:06. Yeah, no, 12:41:51. Yeah, we want to make a call at 12:56. Let's just keep it at make a call at 1 p.m. So go over here. Now 1:41. We do not want 1 hour. We just want 1 o'clock. So it will just call at 1 o'clock. So now this webhook is scheduled over here to run at 1 o'clock. Now the payload message is going to be the details, all the details that you are going to be sending. So when you make an outbound call, you're basically doing that outbound call to qualifying them by confirming their appointment details and welcoming them. So if you want to qualify through appointment details, we want to confirm their name, their email, their appointment date and time, the service they are booked their appointment for, something like that. So you're going to be using name. We'll send the name. I'm just going to use my name, but here you're going to be writing the client's name, and then we'll send like email as well, so that you can confirm their email as well. So go here, write the email. Now let me just write xyz@gmail.com. Then we also want to send the service type. So that's this service type is basically the service that they have booked the appointment for. So let's say this is the dental clinic. I booked an appointment for teeth cleaning. So that's going to be my service type. And also the appointment date and time. What is going to be date and time now? Let's say, what did I say? Let me just say today at 12 p.m. Now here you write it in ISO 8601 format. So that's going to be like today is 2025. This then something like that. Something like that. That's how we write now. How do you do this ISO 8601? Something like that. Then you add like 15 like this, something like this. So this is how you're going to be writing the ISO format. I don't think so. This is the right format, ISO 8601 format. But you get the idea, right? Don't write like when you're sending, don't write like today at 12 p.m. like that, something like that. You just write it in a ISO format. But for this demo purposes, I'm just going to be writing like that. So today, but maybe not. Let's not say today. Let's say tomorrow. Tomorrow at 4 p.m. So we're sending all these details to the make.com webhook that you will set up over here. So just after doing that, just click on the send chronooks, send failures, and just click on save. Now this webhook has been scheduled and it is active right now. It is active. So when the clock hits 1 o'clock, it's going to run that webhook scenario. Now obviously I have not set up any webhook over here, so I'll go and deactivate that over there. Now just open this make.com scenario over here. Now the webhook update I told you now, we're going to send that details to this webhook. So click on over here webhook. You can see this URL over here. Just click on copy and paste. Go over here. You can make the changes also after you have finished this thing. Then click on send. At 1 o'clock, it's going to send all these details that you will receive to this webhook over here. Now let me just show you how the request body will look like when you send the payload. So I don't want to wait at 1 o'clock. Let me just trigger that webhook right now only. So just click on this, click on unlink, click on save, and then click on run once. Let me just go back to Chronooks. Here you can see this three dotted symbol. Click on that and there's this trigger option. Pause and duplicate. If you want to this, you can just automatically pause or just delete. But I'm going to be triggering this. So let me just trigger, and you'll get here as like trigger successfully. When you do that, as you can see, you receive the data over here. Now you can see you will receive all the data like the name, email, service type tomorrow at 4 p.m. But here is not going to be tomorrow at 4 p.m. It's going to be the ISO 8601 format according to your time zone. That's going to be the date. Because we want to send that date, we're making an HTTP request to Vapi, right? So to do that, we or any other voice agent platform does not accept natural language time. You need to make sure it is in a proper date format. So that's why it's like that. Here you're going to be making post request to Vapi. Basically, if you to find all of these details, just go open a new tab, type on Vapi API docs, and there's an API reference doc. In that, there's something called as create call. So you just go on that, see Vapi, click on this. You can see that's where you can find all the URLs, the request body, everything else. Now here you can see the API reference. Just click on this API reference over here. While this is loading, I'll just explain. So it's going to be a post request app because you'll be sending the data. And also again, it's going to be the same authorization like content type, authorization bearer, your API key. Yeah. Now we can see over here all these details over here. See in this call sections, you can see list a call, create a call, get a call, delete call, update a call. Right now we want to create a call because we are going to make an outbound call, right? So for that, we are going to be using a create a call. So that's going to be post request. Okay, now this page is taken to. Let me just use create a call. Okay, you'll get all the details. Let that thing load over here. Now, after doing that, you're basically in the request body. You're just going to type in the assistant ID that you'll get from Vapi. Okay, all the pages unresponsive. Let me just wait for a bit. Let me just close this because that's what's taking a lot of time. Okay, I see. Here the request body is going to be raw application JSON. Here you're going to be sending only this request content away. Now this request content again you will get all of this in the documentation, the Vapi docs that I just showed you. I mean I did not show you, but I told you right now. So there here you're just going to be sending their name and their number and the assistant ID and the phone number ID. The assistant ID and the phone number ID you will get it in Vapi only. Just open Vapi. When you create an agent in the just below the agent name you can see a small ID. That is just your assistant ID. To find your phone number ID, just go to your phone number section in Vapi, and in the top right corner you can see a phone number ID as well, and that is your phone number ID. Now let this thing load. Yeah, we are going to be yeah, I said here we're just going to be sending the name and phone number. So in the scroll notes, you do not have to send all the details. You can just send the name. The name also you do not have to send, or the number also you do not want to send, because I'm just doing it here just for your own preference, so that you have an idea of how this might look like. So the name and the number, the assistant ID and the phone number ID. That's going to be this thing. It's taking too long, man. Yeah, so this is my outbound agent called the dental appointment outbound agent. Yeah, see here, this is the assistant ID. Here you can see this is the assistant ID. You just click on this copy and you paste it over there. Phone number ID. I will not go click on this because you will see my phone number. But you just click on your phone number, and here in this top right corner you will see a phone number ID, and that's your phone number ID. That's all. Now I told you that you do not want to send all the information in that request body itself, but because in this Vapi only you can do that by giving it a tool. So for this Vapi agent, I have given it a tool called get details. Now get details tool will basically this tool before it speaks to the user. Before it speaks to the user, it will run this tool. Basically, go run this tool and go to this database, Google Sheet database. If the data is there, we will get the data, and it will like hello. It will take call the client's name. Is this a good time to speak? Something like that, and it flows on like that. So you do not want to send all the body in this post request. Making the post request, we also want to search the row and update the column. Like I told you now, in the call column also, we want to change that from no to yes. So to do that, we are going to be first searching that row. Now here again, we are going to search the row by email, because the email is going to be your unique ID, and we'll only get, oh my god. Okay, yeah. So with that name, this laptop is crashing out, man. It is fine though. I hope you get the idea that I'm telling you. You're able to understand what I'm saying. So when you filter it by email, you'll only get the row that matches that email, and in that email, you're going to update the call column to yes. After doing that, we'll wait for another 5 minutes over here as well, so that you. Why this wait for 5 minutes? Because you want to wait for this call to get ended, right? So you want to wait until that call is ended. After the call is ended, we'll make another HTTP request to get all the details of the call. So to get all the details of the call, we will get all like the summary, the transcript. We'll also get the voice recording, the recording of the call. We'll also get the status, like I showed you in the Google Sheet, where you have three different what do you call it, status, like customer did not pick up the call, or the call went through, the customer picked up the call and ended the call, or the agent was not able to make the call at all. So there's different status as well. Let me just delete this thing because it has no use right now. So let me just delete that right now. I'll just show you how you can automatically create a schedule here also through API request also. Now let me close this Vapi as well. Now you can see this prompt. I've written this prompt over here, but I have yet to finish this voice agent. This is not a completed voice agent, but I still need to make some changes. When I tested this agent out, it was still making a few errors. So I need to write this prompt again, make it more clearer. But you get the whole idea, right? So that's all I'm trying to teach you guys. So let me just close this Vapi. Let that be open. Now let me just go back to make. Let it load. It is still loading. Maybe let me close this Chronos tab as well, so that it. No, I don't know. Yeah. Let me just click on this. Yeah, we'll sleep for 5 minutes. That's basically same as 300 seconds. After doing that, we make a HTTP request to get all the call details. Again, it's going to be a GET request, the URL over here. You'll find all of this in the Vapi API documentation. Just do that. We're going to be sending a path parameter called ID. This ID you will get from the previous HTTP outbound HTTP request you made. So you made an HTTP request. Here you can see the results over here. Click on result. After you make a successful call, then only you'll see this result. If you are not seeing the result, then just try running this once, and it's a success. Then you'll get the result and you'll get the ID over here. Now that's the same ID over here. After doing that, the body tag is going to be raw. It is in a JSON format. Now the request content, you don't have to write any of this. You don't have to write any of this request content. I've just written it over here so that I can explain it to you. Now where do you get this request content? In this request content, you'll get it in Vapi itself. So all of this request content is automatically updated by Vapi itself. Your only job is to just do this, add your API key and put in the ID and click on save and click on run once. When you do that, you'll get all of this, what do you call this request content over here. So now where did I get this request content? This request content I tested out in Vapi first. So you go to this Vapi, the documentation. In that I showed you, go to that API reference and there's a get call API. Click on that and there's something called as try it. So basically you can try running that in Vapi itself. When you do that, test it with dummy data and you'll get a 201 response or 200 response. In the response you get this request content. I just copy pasted that request content and pasted it so that you guys can understand how this works, just giving you guys the general idea. So you'll get the ID, assistant ID, phone number ID, the type, so the type of phone that was made. So it was an outbound phone call, when it started, when it ended, the transcript you'll get over here. You'll also get the recording URL. You'll also get the summary of the call and also the status. Now you can see the status over here is ended. So that means the customer picked up the call and it ended. You also get the name and the number and also the system prompt, what you've given for the assistant ID. You'll get all of this. You don't have to worry about anything else. Just click on save. And then also you want to add that details you get from this HTTP request to this Google Sheet as well, right? So in the Google Sheet, you might have seen the column called add transcript and call summary. You basically go here. Now it is important that you pass the JSON. You go back to this over here. You click on this here. You can see this pass response. By default, it will always be or no. You just need to change it to yes over here and click on save. When you do that, that time you can individually map the call summary and transcript according in that column, in the specific column. Okay, this is just going to be an add row. I'm not going to be showing you. It's the same thing. So then afterwards, let me move on to this the statuses. So we're going to add a router. So there's three things that can happen. Customer might not pick up the call. The customer picked up the call, or the agent is not able to make the call. So these are the three different parts. So that's why we're going to be using router to send three different parts. So if the customer picked up, we're going to be filtering it by the status that you'll receive from the get details HTTP module. So just give it a label called call status. The condition is going to be all the details you get from this get details. Now I have not run this, that's why you are not able to see. But when you run, you'll get the data, you'll see here the results. And when you break it down even further, you can see the call status like I showed you. You just write over here and here you write your text operator will be like equal to case sensitive ended. So ended means customer picked up and it ended. So it's going to go to this path by sending an SMS and also a message on WhatsApp. Basically, will be like, I don't know if I should open that because my phone number will be there in that video. So I'm not opening that. We'll send an SMS or you can send an email as well. You'll be like, thank you for taking the time for talking with our agent, something like that. And you can also upsell other services that you provide or discounts that you guys have. So you can do that. And here, if this second path is going to be if the call status is error is equal to error again. Equal to error means the call did not happen at all. The agent was unable to make the call. So for that, we are going to be sending again an HTTP request to Chronux. Now I like in the first step how we'll create a Chronux manually. The same thing you're going to be creating here through an HTTP request. Is going to be a post request. You're going to get the URL, all everything in Chronux API documentation. Just do that, add your API key, and just click on save. When you do that, click on save, you're going to connect that into another make.com webhook where you're scheduling that call after 1 hour. So you're going to call the customer back after 1 hour, or you can add any other time you want. Now the third and last path is caller did not pick up. So the agent was able to make the call, but the client did not pick up the call. So when that happens, you're going to do again request another API request to Chronux, and you're going to call them back in 24 hours or whatever hours you want. So that's the entire follow-up and reminder system built on Chronux. Now, obviously, you're using a lot of third-party integration as well. But if you don't want to use any of this third-party integration or Chronos, you can do all of this in Go High Level itself. In Go High Level, it is even more easier than this. So I have not used Go High Level before, but you can do this on Go High Level before. They also offer you a 14-day free trial as well. So you can do that. You can test it out over there as well. So yeah. Now that's the entire follow-up system that I have built. How do you do that automatically? So how do you, like, without any human intervention, how is that call getting triggered automatically? So to do that, we're going to be using trigger module called watch rows in Google Sheet. So basically, in the, like I said, in the booking sheet, whenever the appointment has been booked, confirmed, the data is added to Google Sheet. So in that Google Sheet, whenever a new row is added, it's going to trigger this. It's going to convert again that date and time into ISO. Is going to make a request to Chrome Webhooks, setting up like I told you before. Now here you can see the Chronux API, the URL, the API key, the content type. You'll get all of this in their API documentation. Here the request content is going. This is the request content you're going to be sending. Like in Chronux manually, you were typing in the trigger, the title, the URL. Same thing you're going to be typing it here. The only difference is here you're going to be using dynamic variables. So here the name, phone number, email, all of them is going to be dynamically variable. We'll receive all of that from this watch source. So when you do that, and this run out over here, you can see is going to run up the converted time. Here in this ChatGPT, I told you this whole point of this voice agent is to make an outbound call 15 minutes after they have booked an appointment. So here you will use in this ChatGPT prompt, you'll be like, we'll receive this date added, just add 15 minutes to this time in and convert that into ISO, which is format, and we're going to send that results into this Chronux API. When you do that, it will create the schedule in Chronux, and that's how everything is done automatically. So I guess that's the entire, you could say entire, yeah, the entire fully completed packaged appointment booking chatbot with an AI agent, voice agent for follow-up reminders. If you don't want voice agent, you can also send normal messages or SMS or an email also. Anything is fine. So that's the entire completed appointment booking chatbots. If you don't want to use chatbot, people are still surprised by this chatbots. People are still selling chatbots right now. Right now, I have an Upwork profile. In that Upwork profile, there are so many job postings that require chatbots. There's still clients looking. There's still clients hiring freelancers for building chatbot or customer support chatbot. And other than that, they're also requesting like content generation automation, like generating automated videos or pictures, uploading it to social media, or generating few leads as well, lead generation systems. These are all some of the automations that clients are still paying money for. So let me just show you in our book. Can I not go continue with Google? Let me just continue with Google. Is this getting signed in or not? Okay. I need to verify everything. Oh, yeah. Now see. This is my upper profile. Now obviously I have no clients. I have still yet to get my first client as well. See here you can see chatbot trainer needed for the meta messaging platform, AI chatbot developer. The password you just was on in there. Okay, boss. I'll do that later. AI chatbot, see AI virtual assistant, automation and client onboarding. Again, a chatbot setup, cold calling sales systems. Now again I showed you how to make an outbound agent. Now you can just replace that with cold calling as well. Now you can also build the chat agent as well. Yeah, see, you can see there's so many like chatbot development also required. I've also saved few jobs as well. Let me just show if I can see my, where can I see the saved jobs? There also they've asked like a LinkedIn lead generation system and also like few sales cold calling systems as well, voice agent wise. So or yeah, you can still sell this type of system as well to the clients. They're still ready to pay as well. So don't listen to other people who are saying that chatbot is dead. Nobody's buying chatbot. Nobody sells chatbot, something like that. So don't buy that. Now you should not only sell this AI agent like this, you should also create a dashboard as well. Now another thing I'm going to tell you guys is that instead of now in this video I used Google Sheet as my CRM, but for you guys I would recommend to use Airtable. because in Airtable, if you use, they have an interface system built in already. So in that interface system, you can build a custom dashboard for the clients. So it makes it pretty handy because everything is in one space only, and everything is stored in one table. So that's why I would recommend you guys to use Airtable. If you do not know how to use Lovable or Bold to create custom codes connected to voice events, all the sort of stuff, even I don't know how to do that. So that's why when I'm also trying to sell all of this stuff, I would make sure that even though the client, if the client is more flexible to make some changes to the software, then I would recommend using. I would tell them you can use Airtable. I can also build dashboard like this and sell like this to you guys. But if the client is not more flexible, or if they want all the data in the software that they have been using, then I guess you just have to adjust and you just have to integrate it to those type of systems as well. So I guess that's it for this today's video. I hopefully you guys took something from this video. If you have any questions, you can always leave a comment down below in the description. I will respond to any questions that you guys have. And if I made any other mistakes in this video, please let me know because I'm also in the. It's only been 5 months since I've been in this AI journey, so I'm still pretty new. But I can understand most of the stuff. But if I made any mistakes, or if you misunderstood something, or if I missed something, please let me know so that I can make the corrections, and in the next video, hopefully I can make even better video than this. So if everything is all right, if that's all good, I hope you guys enjoy this video, like the video as well, because the chances of my video getting more recognized is high. Just subscribe, and if you want to book an appointment, book a discovery call with me, I'll also leave a calendar link down below, and also all these automation links, make.com, Voiceflow links, everything you want, you can find all of them in the description. And hopefully I can see you guys soon. And I don't know when my next video is going to be, because right now I'm going to be building all the system first. So that's building the system first is going to take some time, right? At least it's going to take like 1 week or like 5 6 days. After doing that, then I'll start recording the video. So I guess you might see me like in another 2 weeks or 3 weeks. But other than that, thank you for watching this video. Even though I don't know if this video might get any views, but I'll leave it at that. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys later.